Welcome to The Vocalist. We are back at it today with some more acdc. Specifically, you guys requested more Bon Scott. So we are going to listen to the song Lotta Rosie. Here we go.
It's all about a big black woman in Tasmania. This one's called The Whole Lotta Rosie.
Pause here. It's a long enough one. I feel like I don't know if I've heard this song. I've heard a decent number of their songs, but it's usually on the radio and maybe or like in movies, and this one's not sounding familiar to me. Gosh, I love watching them. Actually, I was gonna start at his vocal line, but I want to start at the beginning because I loved that use of silence. It's my favorite thing. It really is. But then also, I feel like this angle, or at least in this clip for this song, is even better than the first time I watched Bon Scott, because the way he says woman, you don't see a lot of movement in his mouth. Everything just stays so still, and like he's got this perfect placement and it's just always there. Let's find the beginning.
This one's called The Whole Lotta Rosie.
Oh golly, I probably said this the last time. I cannot believe just the stillness in his face. So often when we see rock singers, there's so much intensity in everything they do. And he's just like staring straight, saying the words, and these magical, gritty sounds are coming out of his mouth.
Is that the pretty? She is that the smile. 4, 2, 3, 9, 5, 6. You can say she's got a lot.
Okay, we got a little expression on that one. We'll see if this gets blocked, but if you can see his image, there is just so much stillness when he says woman. Like, everyone pronounces things a little differently and forms words differently. But usually when I think of saying woman, there's a lot of rounding and then a little bit of more pursing of the lips, then I'm singing with him. I love those, I'm saying low notes just because he's always in the rafters when he's singing, but you get a little bit more of that really soulful tone whenever he's just in that mid-range plate. Well, maybe even mid to low range for his voice, but it's just such an interesting color compared to what we're so used to hearing from most of his work that I recall. Oh goodness, let me hear that again. I love that. That's such a rich sound. I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, but with regards to texture, one of the reasons we hear texture so much more frequently in upper registers is the chords will naturally separate a little bit more as they're stretched and thin. So with that airflow, you have opportunity for different kinds of textures, and it's a little bit easier to do. Whereas on the bottom, when your chords are really thick, they don't separate as much. So it's harder to, not harder, you have to incorporate texture a little differently in the bottom of your range. So we're getting some of that really smooth, well, as smooth as we're gonna get, I think, with Bon Scott's voice, but we get more of a I don't know, a gentler texture, something that feels a little smoother at the bottom here. Oh my goodness. He is so fun to watch every time. That got me a little nervous. I mean, obviously I've seen him more, I haven't personally in person seen him, but you know, I've seen concerts more recently. So I know like he didn't completely shatter his knees, but that just reminds me of all those fateful days playing, dodgeball or whatever, even volleyball in the gym. Oh golly, if you skid your knee on that flooring, it hurts, and that flooring reminds me of that. Anywho, such a thrill to watch. The intensity, the energy is so, and the skill, obviously. I know so little about guitar, but I can see, like, that was incredible. The way they match, everyone in the band matches each other's energies. It's so cool to see. I'll leave it at that. Let me get back to his vocal opening. Those textures at the end were so good. Oh my goodness. Something that I love about Bon Scott's, basically every vocal line ever, is we don't question that it's singing, but also it feels as though it's not. It's not screaming, it's not shouting, it's not singing. It's like its own entity of vocal production, because there's so many unique qualities. Obviously the texture is at the forefront in my mind when I'm hearing him, but there's so much energy and intensity, and it making it feel a lot more reminiscent of screaming, and yet you can follow the melodic line as you hear the song. And so it's just such a cool way of making sound. We had another 2 minutes, but I guess that's the end of the song. Golly, such a thrill. I can't, when I see stuff like this, I think to myself, at this very moment, somewhere in the world, there is just an epic concert being performed, and whoever is there, they are lucky duckies. I mean, you can never truly know. I mean, you can love a band, you can love an artist, you can love a singer. You just don't know how they're going to evolve. You don't know how big they're going to get. And this is... sorry, I'm just lost in my thoughts. I think to myself, when they first started, how many people really knew, this is it. Like, this is a big deal. How long did it take for them to be a big deal? I go through all these thoughts because it's just, that just seems so special to me. And while I recognize this was, they were established at this point, I don't know, I think about all the incredible artists and performers that are in the world that just haven't been heard yet. And I'm excited for them when I see things like this. It's just a beautiful display of passion. Obviously, musicianship and artistry and talent and skill are all in that. And you kind of have to sprinkle in a little bit of, right place, right time, right people, all of that. But, that's it for today. I'm just going to keep rambling. Whenever I see performances like this that just make me smile and, like, excite me, I just want to watch them over and over, and so that's what I'm going to do. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching with me and for this recommendation, and hopefully I will see you next time.